Jim, we're here at Sandown Park, home of the Coral-Eclipse, of course, its big flagship fixture. What does the Coral-Eclipse mean, firstly, to you as a jockey, but also to Shadwell, for example, as a potential stallion-making race?
It's one of the biggest races of the year. I was fortunate enough to win it on Ulysses, but for a jockey, you know, it's one of those big ones. It's like the King George. There's not many of them about, so you know, to win the Eclipse. I remember when I did win it, I was like, wow, that's a proper race. And you grow up watching all the champions running in it. Even before my time, Mill Reef, Brigadier Gerard, and then I remember George Duffield on Giant's Causeway.
Indeed.
It's a very, very important race throughout the season, and yeah, it's always a good one.
One of the features of the Coral-Eclipse is that first clash of the generations over the 10 furlong. If you're riding a 3-year-old, you're obviously getting weight from the older horses. Obviously, an older horse, you're giving the weight away. But what attributes do you need in a horse to have a chance in this race?
I think for a 3-year-old, you've got to be really top class. Obviously, it's a stiff 1.25 miles. You're racing uphill. They've got to stay the 10 furlongs extremely well. And there's never that many runners. It's normally a small field. It always becomes quite tactical. So you need a horse who can travel, have a change of gear, be able to get you out of trouble if you need to. And yeah, a very good horse.
A race like the Coral-Eclipse tends to be a small field, but would there be a preferable draw for you?
Well, it all depends on who's in the race. Sandown can be known as a good front runner's track, and if they get a soft lead, you know, it can be hard to pass. But I always like to have an option turning in for home. I've seen many horses try and go up the inside here and get stopped, and you want to get a nice clear run. That's the most important thing. So I think if you're drawn 1-2 or something like that, and it's a great place to be if you get the splits, but nobody's going to let you out.
No. Is that more the case in a championship race like the Coral-Eclipse, when there's so much at stake?
The smaller the field, the more compact you race. It's very tactical. Nobody wants to give an inch away, and you need plenty of horse. Pace needs to be solid as well.
So you start over there, you come down the back straight. When does the race sort of really begin to unfold?
You've gone a furlong, 2 furlongs. Everybody's got their positions, whether you're happy in them or not. But that's how the race is there. You'll get a bit of a breather into around the bend. It's quite a sharp bend, but it's a lovely camber, and they turn in. They don't want to kick for home too soon. 3.5 furlongs running, so they don't want to step on the gas straight away. Really, it's not until sort of at the 2.5 that the race really starts to unfold. At
that point, and we can see it now, I mean, it is uphill all the way from the bottom of the straight, isn't it? How much horse do you need under you, say 2 furlongs out?
Yeah, plenty. I mean, obviously, look, it's a stiff finish. And like I said, if they go slow, sometimes they can get racing too far out, and that, even though they've gone steady early on, you'll set it up for the horses at the back. Me personally, I quite like riding a close around here. And like I said, it all depends on what's in the race and who's making it.
I take you back to 2017 and Ulysses, of course. What are your memories of him as a racehorse?
He was exceptional. Obviously, I'd ridden him in the Prince of Wales Stakes coming into the Hare, and I was in front a little bit too soon, or I'd made my move maybe a little bit too soon, so I wasn't going to make that mistake again. So I always wanted to ride him cold that day, and I think we won a nose.
Yeah.
But it was a great race. Like I said, he hit the front just in front of Barney Roy. Barney Roy came back, and it was heads up, heads down, and then we had to wait sort of 5 minutes in front of the grandstand for the result of the photo.
Ulysses, a classic case of gone on to be a successful young stallion.
Yes, he has. He's obviously siring nice horses now, and like I said, he was the most beautiful horse, beautifully bred. For me to win it that day, for Sir Michael Stoute, absolute legend of the game, it was a really special day.
Here we are, a furlong to go. When you were riding Ulysses, can you cast your mind back and what was your confidence level like with a furlong to go?
Oh, massive. Literally, he was absolutely cantering. And he just arrived. I've never seen a horse in the Eclipse come there on the bridle like that. He was literally, everybody was rowing away. And I thought all I had to do was press the button, and didn't quite have the acceleration that I thought he was going to have. And in fairness to the second, Barney Roy, he really fought back. So yeah, it was a great feeling to be able to be still at the furlong pole, still cantering.
And he's now picking up to lead. Barney Roy tries to go with him. They've got 100 yards to go in the Eclipse. It's Ulysses who leads by a head. Barney Roy trying to get back on the inside as they hit the line.